figured I'd just open up on this amazing dog here. Best character in the game. His name is Potts, actually. Has some neat 3D glasses on him. I don't even know if dogs can see in 3D. I mean, can see or use 3D properly. I'm pretty sure their eyes work much differently than humans. But he doesn't care. He's Potts. Why would he care? Anyways, welcome back to Jet Set Radio. Last time we beat the tutorial, and we've finished our first stage ever, which was cleaning up after the Love Shocker's mess. And instead of confronting them, seeing what's going on, we're actually gonna just hightail it out of our Kogane-Cho general place of control and go completely towards a different area and just take over that place. We're gonna go towards Kogane-Cho and take on the monster Kogane-Cho. Or monster Kogane. Yeah. Going as Gum again, because this is a graffiti mission. And let's go. Get a neat dance here, I forgot to mention that.
It's on.
This is Kogane, just outside our turf. The cops are onto us. Don't let them get you. Look for the red arrows and start spraying. Welcome to my actually probably favorite area section of Tokyo-to place in the game. One, because I just like the sunset look of the area and the general poor kind of trashed up area look of it, especially stacked on houses. That's also a thing that I also always like. But also probably my favorite piece of music in this game. This one's pretty good, but we'll see my favorite one in the next stage actually. Anyways, it's a graffiti mission once again, meaning we just have to go around graffiti spraying all the red arrows. And they're all actually up here. We started all the way down there and we just made our way up here. Now, like I said, always want to go for the larger ones first before actually going towards the big ones. Reason is because, well, I was gonna say cops are dangerous, but they kind of killed themselves right there. Foot in mouth moment there, actually. Am I grabbing more plants as I spray this? Ah, I guess I did. Huh, okay. There's one more large one over here. There's only 3 ones bigger than 1, actually, so really quick stage right here. If you can quickly get it and not get run over by a police car. Like so. There we go. One more large one, and that should be it, actually. And I actually forgot to mention it last stage, but you actually also have to keep an eye on what the little speaker box thing says here, because it'll actually tell you what kind of graffiti is. I decided to go with tabs because we actually won't be seeing much of tab in this game at all. And guards are now here. Or dogs are now here. What we collected actually in that previous stage, we actually collected things called, I think they're called graffiti souls in this game. They might not be that. That might be what they're called in the future. But what those do is basically they unlock more graffiti for us to use. And you see I'm using different graffiti. I'm actually going to change up the graffiti every single time the stage comes up. Except for stages where, you know, I'm never going to use graffiti. Or the graffiti's going to be not very noticeable. Also, helicopters. If you thought guard dogs were a bit much, helicopters. And wait till you see our reaction to helicopters. Screw helicopters. Just screw. This is actually better than the guard dogs, believe it or not. I would stare at the... Actually, maybe he's gonna crash soon. Or maybe I'm just gonna not be able to look because the camera and slippery control. There we go. That's what I wanted to show off. Basically, we killed a guy. Yeah. I don't... Man, the GGs are hardcore. But, yeah, this is actually better than the guard dogs, because once the chopper appears, everything else disappears, making it a lot less stressful to deal with the stage. Now, we only have one graffiti thing to do, so let's finish it up. Like I said, you want to be careful, because you see this little speech bubble will tell you which kind it is. I decided to change it to Tab because I wanted to give Tab some love, because we're never going to see him. And, yeah. Just keep an eye out on the stage for what the graffiti bubbles are, and you should be set. Because it is kind of hard to differentiate big ones to little ones, due to all of Poison Jam's graffiti being the same, because I guess they're unoriginal twats.
Let's get scratching.
This is your very own guerrilla broadcaster, Jet Set Radio. Use this city as your canvas and paint us some vibes from the street. And now for our local news. While the GGs were busy going after Kogane-Cho, their faithful pup Potts was kidnapped. Woo-hoo! I guess it'll be classified as dog napping, huh? I wonder how much ransom you get for a dog. The Keisatsu is staying out of this one, so y'all better keep an eye on your own dogs too. Poison Jam! Them horror freaks are really pissed. They haven't seen a good slasher flick in months. And after the action in Kogane-Cho, they're out for revenge. It looks like we might be facing a bloodbath here. Better put on your garlic, honey, because the vampires are on the prowl.
Alright. I know, taking over another person's territory is serious business and wrong. But stealing our dog? Really? I mean, I'm blaming Poison Jam for this. They're obviously the culprits, right? Here comes a rifle! This is actually another section of the game called, I think they're called showdowns. What happens is somebody challenges us, and we have to do whatever their terms of winning are. We either follow them and do exactly as they do, kind of like a banjo challenge, or race them. Right here is the banjo-esque challenge thing that I mentioned. So once we beat him, we unlock him, so I say it's worth it. Gonna go as Gum here. Actually, I probably should have gone as Tab, but it's okay. I mean, this probably is the only time Tab will ever be used, and now I just denied him his chance, but oh well. I treat Tab as being useless. He's actually a pretty fun character. It's just that, if I want a jet ranking, I'm gonna generally have to go with Gum or anybody with a high graffiti rather than somebody with mediocre graffiti, because I'll get more points, therefore have a more cemented jet ranking. Now what Graham shows us is pretty easy. We actually got a bit of wall grinding there, or wall riding. Pretty fun thing to do. I like it a lot. Really, all you do is jump onto a wall that's rideable, and you'll go. I completely messed that up. It's really fun, especially in the next stage we're gonna do, where you could actually continuously go on a huge fit of wall grinding. Basically, how wall grinding works is you can't grind on the same wall twice, but you can. But every wall that makes up a curve is considered a different wall. So you're gonna constantly wall ride at one point if you're going on a curve, and it's ridiculously fun. Right, here's a section of Kogane-Cho that we actually haven't seen. Not that special. It's just a sewer level. People who played Jet Set Radio Future would recognize this as the place you fought Poison Jam. I messed that up horribly. And we know what to do. So okay. All we have to do is grind on this rail, jump on that rail, jump again. This time we're gonna miss, aren't we? Oh wait, hey, we didn't miss. Okay, cool. Alright.
That's right.
I actually noticed that there's a bit of an echo in this stage too. That's surprising. Anyways, we got Garam. And that's about it. Yeah. This isn't where we look up where Garam is. Let's go over to this next stage, which we're actually going to be playing. And here's Garam. He's got really high health, pretty good technique, really low graffiti. Which is why we're not going to be playing as him, because it's another graffiti stage. It's that freaky Kogane again. Poison Jam. Watch your back. Find all the red arrows and spray. This is actually my favorite song in the game. It's called Rocket On. And this is actually why Kogane-Cho is one of the big reasons why Kogane-Cho is my favorite stage. Because of just how funky, awesome this song is. Also, for some reason, that kid shouting Revolution is pretty dang catchy. So, there's that too. Anyways, as usual, go for the larger ones first, go for the smaller ones last, and that's about it. Down here, though, is something we haven't seen yet. I was actually gonna hit him for some extra. I was gonna hit him for some extra paint cans, but we could just go down here and get some paint cans. What we saw there was actually a. I like to call it an extra large, but I don't know if that's what it's actually called. Basically, it's a graffiti that's in the shape of an extra large, but it takes 2 extra larges to make up. If that makes sense at all to you. Anyways, right here is a great place to actually get some paint as well as get some points. You can see here, these green arrows are actually optional arrows completely. When you see a green arrow, you don't need to go for it to complete the stage, but it's always good to tag it just so you could get some extra points, paint points on. Especially if you see a large green arrow, that you should definitely go towards, because that'll actually get a lot of points and further cement your jet ranking, which is always good. And it actually won't contribute towards the counter that activates various guards or various police alerts, I guess you could call them. They'll actually, no matter how many green ones you spray, it'll always be the same alert. I mean, the counter will not go up, as opposed to the red counter, which will always further make your situation worse. You know, because apparently spraying graffiti is appropriate punishment for a teenager, or spraying graffiti is appropriate. Punish them by spraying graffiti on them. That's legal. I mean, that's not any less reasonable than what they've been doing now, which is sending helicopters at us. And once again, if you think that's bad, it gets much worse. Whoa, what happened there? My thumbstick wasn't even on that first arrow, and apparently it was activated. Whatever. And you'll notice that if you actually looked at beats and and then you see Gum's arrows, they're actually a lot more complicated than beats. That's actually because, just in general, she has a higher graffiti ranking, meaning she's gonna give you a lot more points for it. Meaning it's only appropriate that she have higher or more challenging graffiti things to do. She also has a much lower graffiti count, if you actually see that. She has a max of 15, while I think Beat has 25. I think Tab also has 25. Garum, because he has such a low graffiti count, actually has, if I recall correctly, he actually has 30, which is pretty dang good. And, you know, if you think that we're not going to use Beat because Garum, because he doesn't have proper because he doesn't have a good graffiti ranking, you're actually pretty wrong. The reason why we're not using Tab is because Beat beats him, or Beat. I keep saying Beat instead of Garum, because Garum actually beats in the stats that he's supposed to be good at. And really, if I want a graffiti person, I go to Gum. So that's really it. Sorry, Tab, you're kind of useless. Really, I say Tab is kind of useless. Beat's kind of more. I use Beat even less, I'll be honest here. Here's where it gets even more ridiculous. 3 helicopters towards us. Because, you know, that's appropriate for a teenager just wanting to spray graffiti, right? This is fine, right? It's not like, you know, I have a life, a family. Probably people, I don't even know what this is. There's not much character knowledge known about these characters, by the way. Don't expect much to be shown. I think in the original website they had some knowledge about them, like, I honestly don't remember. I think Garum's description was easy to anger? I don't remember. I apologize if I got that wrong. Honestly, the characters don't really matter in this game. It's Jet Set Radio. You're playing it for the fun of spraying graffiti everywhere and the awesome music, not in deep, developed characters that rival even the best RPGs like Xenoblade or Final Fantasy. Yeah, that's totally why I play Jet Set Radio, right? Anyways, let's go towards here. Actually, a small little green one there, but I'm not gonna really bother with it. I do want that graffiti soul, though. We have plenty of time if you're worried about us worried about us not making it. Eh. I gave up on that pretty quickly though. But let's see here. Ah, there's some graffiti. There is one more left, but I want to once again max out my graffiti. And oh wow, 14. One more, come on guys. There we go. And now we slowly walk up these stairs because, you know, skating. I've never done it personally because I'm a nerd and I stay at home all day instead of go outside, but I can't imagine spraying on stairs or walking on stairs with skates would be pretty hard to do. Right on the stage, by the way. Hey, I think the threshold is like 30, so we were pretty much done from like before we got it. Anyways.
This is Tokyo's hard-walking, truth-talking, always squawking Jet Set Radio! Even the Kisatsu tune in here when they're not eating donuts. Looks like the GGs have filled the streets of Kogane-Cho with their graffiti. The poison jammers are hopping away like little frogs. If the GGs go after them, Kogane-Cho will be all theirs.
Do people even listen to radio much anymore? I mean, actually, I guess people listen to it for the news, and it's probably a good place to actually learn of new songs and bands. I very quickly debunked myself there. Great backed up research I did. Anyways, Kogane Circus. This is actually a different type of mission. It's a mission where we have to tag everybody. And yes, we do get a ranking on this mission. Gum isn't actually that great in this because again, the way we get points is with health and time and total cans. And because we're not getting much graffiti, she's not going to be that great. Garam, on the other hand, has a lot of power, as in a lot of health. Pretty good technique, and a low graffiti score, which means we have a high graffiti can count. Which means Graham's gonna be our go-to guy.
Oh yeah!
Poison Gem is hightailing it. They act tough, but they're wussies. Mark them up. Were they swimming in sewer water? I think they have diseases right now. I don't think I should be marking them up, more trying to get these guys to a hospital. Got a graffiti soul. Well, there's one hiding in there, by the way. Yeah. I know I said I wouldn't be getting them, but maybe if they're in the way, or maybe if they're like easy to get, I'll grab them, but don't expect me to get every single one of them. There's no way I'm doing that. There's a lot of them out there. If you couldn't tell by the amount of graffiti you saw in that one menu back in episode 1. Anyways, all we have to do in this stage is just follow these guys around, try to tag them. You see a number on them, that's how many times you have to tag them. That's about it. We are, once again, like I said, we are actually graded on this, like every other stage. And because we don't have graffiti to spray, we can't get a lot of points. So, best thing to do would be to try to finish the stage with as much cans. Ow! Jerk! Wow! He actually pushed me really far. I didn't expect that. But, yeah, best thing to do would be to finish the stage with as much health as possible, as well as many cans as possible. And with Garen, we could have a lot of cans. I think our max is 30? 30 is probably it, yeah. And yeah, that's about it. Best thing I can really advise is stay on them as best as you can, and then just rapid tap your spray button, which for me is R2. Wait, no, L2, derp. And that's it. It doesn't really matter which one you do or which one you do first. They're all the same. I believe some of them have different-ish routes, and some kind of lag behind the others. But that's about it. Really, I'd say the only thing you need to keep in mind is that when you're down to your last one, make sure you leave at least one mark on that one. This one we can get rid of right now because there's still 2 left. And right there, we're going to finish that guy off too. Next guy we actually get rid of, we're actually going to take him down to 1, and then kind of let him live in fear while we go collect cans and try to recover, and then finish the stage with as best a score as we can. Speaking of which, time to collect some cans. That's generally how this goes. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called like Jet Tag. Maybe, I'm not sure. Graffiti Tag? Not entirely sure. But it's a pretty fun stage. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Would play constantly. Until, you know, I get bored. Then I'll probably go back to playing some other game. Come on. Got the graffiti soul, by the way, just because it's pretty easy to get. But I think that's the only 2 graffiti souls here. I'm probably missing one now that I said that. Oh, that was another one of my favorite songs, Super Brothers. I completely didn't talk about that one. Really cool one. I think that's also available in other stages, though. So it's not really that the big reason why I like this. I like Kogane-Cho. Now let's go follow this guy. If I could grab him and, you know, follow him, and I could just, you know, fall into the sewers. Why not? Thankfully, he's in this little corner here, so we could tag him something pretty fierce. Tag him 3 times. That's all you need. I should grab that, actually. I'll let him, once again, run away, live in fear. Let him, you know, suffer a bit. Chase him around. Something to kill him or something. He's probably in the sewers over there, with that pipe over there. Now, you don't necessarily need to always finish the stage off with one extra, with only 1 can to spend. Like, you don't need to end off the stage with only 1 graffiti thing, but to cement. I say that a lot, to cement your jet rank. But that's basically what it is. To assure that you get a jet rank, it's the best thing to do. It's about as best as I could say it. Is that it? Yeah, he has 1 left. So let's go ahead and try to grab at least a 5 can or something. I mean, we could probably get him now. We'll probably get a jet rank if we do that now. The threshold for these are pretty low, considering, you know, there's not much you can do to get points. There we go. What's up, dude? Smack right into a wall, I guess. Ow. Smack right into barrels, I guess. These barrels are tough, by the way. We could move everything aside. These, screw them. Buckets, screw them. Trash cans, screw them. Everything else, screw them. Those barrels, though, they must have, like, cement in them. Hardened cement. Now, I believe you do take fall damage eventually. There we go. And I just took a pot shot right there anyways. And we got a jet ranking. Like I said, I think it's like, threshold is like, what, 25 at least? I'd probably say that much.
Let's get scratching.
We'll leave your mama gawking and your daddy walking. We're Tokyo's biggest, baddest Buccaneers. We're Jet Set Radio. Poison Jam is finished. They're worm food. And there ain't no sequels in the works for these monsters. They're in the grave for good. Whoa, all of a sudden a big black car came by and picked up Poison Jam, snatched him right away. So is this a real kidnapping this time? Or maybe it's just the garbage collector? That was one cool garbage truck, all right? There was a piece of a broken record in a mask that got left behind. Is there a clue here somewhere? Why was he hiding something like that so carefully? Or maybe it was just a piece of junk. Ha ha!
But a mask really, like, that sounds really uncomfortable, having a broken record, the shards kind of going into your head. It sounds really painful. Also, they didn't have pots. Someone else stole pots. But through that kind of trio of levels, we saw how generally this chapter is going to go. 2 graffiti levels and then 1 tag mission. That's how Benten-Cho is gonna go, and that's how Shibuya-Cho is gonna go. Next time, because I think it's a good time to end off, we finished up Poison Jam, we got the thing available. Oh, before we actually end off, this is a jet graffiti. This is an optional side mission that you could do, and like I said, completely optional. This is not part of the story at all, but we will be doing these, just not now. In post-game, every single mission is available to you from the very start, which is what we'll be doing. I'll be going towards finishing the story missions with a jet rank, and then post-game I'll finish all these jet graffiti, jet crush things. So yeah, join me on that. Next time, we're gonna fight some robots in Benten-Cho. See you guys then.